More value for your money when you activate your Digicel Prime bundle. More choices for what you want at low prices. More talk time on the most reliable network. More any-use data for whatever you're into searching and sharing. And dedicated data for more new apps to stream your music, shows, and live sports. Activate a Digicel Prime bundle of your choice in the My Digicel app today and save more. Digicel, better connected.
Nice to be in orbit.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, and welcome to SipNchat with Azem, and of course, the lovely Jade, Details, CPL, Mathis, Stewart, Sink, it's Beyonce. Johnson is in studio with me this morning right here at the Sugar Factory, and we're looking forward to having an amazing conversation with each other, with you guys, and of course, we have some special guests joining us today, so I'm looking forward to a very amazing show. Big up to all the sippers that are tuned in. Big up to the Kingsters in the back, in the King Club. And, what Jade? Oh.
I like your outfit today.
Really? Okay. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You're looking quite spiffy yourself.
Thank you.
Indeed, indeed. But how are you doing?
Pass.
Okay. That being said... That being said, yeah, let's give a big shout out. Yeah, shouting out to all the bus drivers who the old people feel safe driving with.
You mean like, what's that one? Western? Who? That's the one that does drive 1 mile per hour?
Hey.
I think it's Western.
I'd rather you drive 1 mile an hour than to drive 100.
Yeah, but I the bus for you to catch a failure for anyway.
That might be the bus you need to catch all the time. Big up he. No, but there are a few bus drivers out there who take their time and give their passengers what at least is perceived to be a safe and comfortable ride.
Listen, I appreciate seeing these bus drivers there because I've been looking at videos of bus drivers from around the Caribbean. Let's just say always looking like... Let's just say always looking like the best option of the bunch. Why? When we went to Jamaica, I watched these buses like, all right.
I mean, it's a little different in some of the countries. Like, okay, like...
You see Vinci one of them?
Yes. But, I mean, Dominica public transport is wild, not because of... necessarily just because of the drivers, but because of the terrain. Like, I have convinced that I have been in a bus coming from, like, the airport going to Roseau, and the wheel of the bus is, like, halfway up the cliff, Jade. And the busman just relaxing in the front, like...
Well, where could do?
Ball. There's all little ball.
The busman ain't going, he a custom, is you going ball?
Yeah, I just ball. I just ball and hope nobody see me in the corner.
That's the way I feel I'm playing.
And what? I'm playing?
When I hit them turbulence, I'll be like, Lord Jesus, just don't let me see me. Just let everybody feel like I'm invisible. So when I start crying, they're bad one.
What's the... See, my thing is, I'm generally the one comforting the person next to me on planes. I remember this one time, there was this lady, she, I don't know, I don't do this thing. When I jump on the plane, am I going straight to sleep?
I did that on the way back from Jamaica.
I am very comfortable. I just go to sleep because
I don't know.
I can't control nothing, Jade.
But not only that, you're clearly a psychopath. How you sleeping comfortably on these planes? As in, my foot went numb, my hand went numb. Like I could not feel my fingers them.
Jade, I just flying from it. They're doing this thing for umpteen years, Jade.
No.
So there was this lady next to me. I fall asleep. I wake up. I thinking. You
so rich?
No, they're thinking, well, I'm looking around the plane. So I check my watch to see how long we have. So this was supposed to be a half an hour flight. My watch telling me like at least 45 minutes in the air. What are you doing on this plane still? You're almost an hour now, idiot. No, the joke about it, I just afraid to ask anybody, miss. We don't come up, like, the plane and land, because I'm supposed to come up at the first stop here.
So you feel like you sleep through the first
I
stop?
wonder if I sleep to the first stop, which is unusual to say the least.
Yeah.
But I'm just coming back from my job, I'm very tired, I'm wondering
Yeah,
maybe.
it could happen.
I think that's coming back from St. Thomas too, you know.
It could happen, man.
And I could, like, I was just like,
Something feel wrong. But
so,
you want me to person to ask?
yeah, and I started to get antsy and uncomfortable. Next thing now, the woman next to me says, what do you think is going to happen? I said, excuse me, what do you think is going to happen?
And I pass out. I think I pass it out.
Because I think
what kind of question that there?
I thinking if I miss a hijacking or something, like I sleep to the hijacking. I wondered
that
if
man, a question to ask somebody in the ear, you know?
I literally wondered, did I sleep through a hijacking, and that's why we're still in the ear. So I say, what are you talking about? We shouldn't have she said, we should have landed already. I said, oh, so we ain't land yet? I said, oh, okay, then cool. So it don't work out. That means it's weather. No person come screaming down the hall.
Yeah, sure.
And what I just do, right, Jade? Off the bat. If we know when I know that I should be worried, when the stewardess is worried. They're gonna try to hide it, but they can't hide it. They can't hide it 100%.
Yeah.
I look up and I watch the stewardess. She just sitting on her little jump seat, just there. I said, I'll be all right, man. Probably just wherever we were supposed to go.
The weather bad.
It's bad weather. Eventually, the captain come on and was like, hey guys, we were trying to circle. We were trying to circle to land. We made 3 attempts, but we are now being diverted to, what we went to? We went to St. Lucia.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to
Love
St. Lucia.
Lucia.
So, the joke about it now, the lady next to me, she ain't really understand what the man said. I think what she heard the captain say is, we're all about to die.
Well, you know.
The woman watched me and say, can I hold your hand?
What?
Can I hold your hand? I said, sure. When the woman grabbed my hand, right, Jade?
Don't tell me she grab it like how the woman does grab the man's hand when they give birth, you know.
Jade, I could have sworn she was 10 centimeters. Dilated when the woman grabbed my hand, right? And like, it's this small little white lady.
Not strong. What do you mean?
Oh, come on, Jade. I had no doubt before, and I have no reason to doubt now. The woman grabbed on my hand, and the woman just there like rocking in the chair, like she was rocking. I said, it's gonna be okay. It's just that the weather's a little bad where we were going, so we're going to another place. I started to ask her where she from, started to keep up conversation to like, you know, just keep her calm and stuff and whatever. She tell me about she fiance.
She got a man to go home to?
Yeah, like she got a fiance. They both manage a private island in the Virgin Islands. Yeah, like he's like the groundskeeper. She does like all the other stuff and so. Yeah, but they manage the property.
Okay.
So like people come and stay there in this like mansion, and so they have a little mini mansion in the back that they live in because they're managing the property.
She'd have been my new best friend, you know.
She
would have been my new. And then by the time we leave the plane, we would have been very acquainted.
Well, we were very acquainted. Even when give me she card and everything. Tell me, hey, whenever you're in, wherever, come call her and thing. Never call she. But no, it was she was cool. Like, after I got her to settle on a bit. But some people, like, it's a very trying time.
Yeah, but I took an edible. I took an edible one time and go fly. You know what I mean? Again. That they kick in the wrong time.
I wonder why would you even do that?
I just make dumb decisions sometimes.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah.
That's honestly the answer. I don't just make dumb decisions sometimes.
Yeah, we all do. But, yeah, but I mean.
Yeah. So you go. Where you want to start? So we could talk about the Commissioner of Police and some stats. That face look promising.
Let's go there.
Sorry guys, I fumble these words. I couldn't bring my tablet today. And my screen small, so don't judge me. Let me just turn my phone here. Do not judge me mine. Okay, let's go. Okay. James Sutton, Commissioner of Police in the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force, shared a statement with the press on Monday, May 16th, sharing some of the operations executed and operational changes throughout the police force. The statement included statistics from the new Community Policing Initiative, Operation Reassurance, launched on April 4th. The following statistics are testimony to the operation's success we have since then recorded. Oh, boy. What? What?
Read, Jade. Go ahead, read. Go ahead, read, Jade.
I could definitely zoom with your face today. 'Cause- oh dear. Well, search warrants executed were 42, mobile patrols 143, foot patrols 143, number of arrests 14, number of firearms recovered 6, number of tickets issued 93, and I bet all of that is worse.
Nah, man, at least 92, man.
Majority.
Yeah, majority.
Yeah. Number of vehicles searched 362. Gang engagement 7. What I mean? What I mean?
Even the Kingstons are confused, Jade.
So like, that mean we have 7 gangs that they talk to, or they talk to gangs 7 times?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Huh.
I don't know if they had 7 shootouts. I don't know if they had 7 sit-downs. Like, I don't know.
What's 7 gang engagements? Somebody let me know, please. I got a message.
Maybe they went to a sit-down.
Now message my friend.
Maybe they went to a
You gonna know. Our police officers continue to work assiduously to ensure, I hope me just butcher that word, you know, to ensure that safety and security of our citizens and residents are maintained. Their work in this regard has borne fruit to the tune of 4 or 5 robberies. To the tune of 4 of the 5 robberies committed in the month of April having already been solved. Such was achieved through the diligent work and dogged determination of our officers in the pursuit of justice.
Okay, the cameras in the body shop.
Yeah,
Okay.
the sleeping police. No, them they speed bumps. What the cameras called?
The peeping police.
Oh, okay. It's a good name for the officer by.
No, because I can give a whole different connotation to this thing.
No, you might be right. The perseverance and stellar work are worthy of high praise. Indeed, even after Operation Reassurance has ended, the momentum and our thrust to curb crime and violence in St. Kitts and Nevis. You distracted me, you're not done, can't read, and the words them small.
Okay.
High praise, yes, that's what it said. Okay? The Explorers Club was recently in the spotlight after officers associated with the club spoke out about what was described as attempts by the powers that be to frustrate and stifle the success of the Explorers and community policing programs. During his statement, the police commissioner explained that the Explorers Club is one of the initiatives that has undergone operational changes.
Oh, boy.
Is it the video what you're talking about? You see the video?
Yeah.
The officer was upset, eh? The man was pissed.
Yep.
I would be too, naturally, if I do all this work and then y'all just decide, well, you know, close them doors. And then transfer me.
Wow.
To violent crimes? Oh, wow. From Explorers Club to violent crimes.
I think he was a community police officer. I don't know if he was. Explorers is like a. I don't want to say extracurricular, but I think.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, the man in the community and dealing with kids. Now you're sending man to violent crimes.
Okay, forget all of this what you're saying, Jade. Let me ask you, you feel safer?
Me, you know.
After reading that, you feel safer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Opposed to last month? Opposed to be...
As opposed to before reading that, do you feel
No.
safer? Okay, cool. I just want to know.
Do you?
No, Jade. As a matter of fact, I'm more worried now.
Why?
Because it proved it to me that they're just trying things.
But you got to try things, friend. How is it going to fix
No,
problems?
Jade, if I were tasked,
If
with
you're the commissioner.
if I was tasked with like police in the country, I would try things. You know why? Because me not about policing. But the police is supposed to be just trying things, Jade. When you can tell me you search 300 and something vehicles, then you literally just like, but let me see what's going on here. That's a police strategy. Everybody see the videos of the robberies, Jade.
This is when people are coming on the show, you know?
Everybody see the videos of the robberies.
I said things like this.
Just tell the police work. I've led to 4 of the 5 robberies being solved. We saw the people. We see them.
But I got to find them. That's why they still police in coming. I got to find them, Azem. Stop. Stop buying.
That's Miss Jackie's son from down such and such street. Come on, go look for him, man. They don't even look for him. They say, hey, tell him you're looking for him, please.
Oh, yes, I'm serious, yeah?
He's smart, he'll pass by the station, he'll lie.
You think that's what happened?
That's what could that makes sense to me. Because everybody know is he. Like, literally everybody. What is a gang engagement?
That's what I want to know.
Did I have champagne at these engagements?
That's so fancy, you know?
It sounds very fancy. Like, what's the dress code? They have to wear belts?
Gang attire.
Gang attire.
To differentiate. So you know where you come from, the people know where you come from. Because where's a gang engagement? Like, why you want to be so vague with these things, knowing that we're going to have questions?
What's the name of the gang?
That you engaged?
That you engaged.
I want to know if it's 7 different gangs or...
One gang 7 times?
Yes.
They just like it over there?
Well, you know. Maybe them days the one is terrorists in the country.
Somebody should do a skit on a gang engagement.
What you think? What you giving people them ideas? As in, miss you want serious the country be already? What you giving them ideas?
Look, I understand that he's the new commissioner and it's now been about a few months since he's been...
Yeah, the man fresh.
No, what I'm saying is I believe that maybe part of his approach to the job is to update people on what the police are doing.
Matter of fact, yeah, that's a good... I agree.
Right. Problem is, the updates that keep us asking more questions than...
Well, I gotta ask a question. Hey, morning.
What's a gang engagement?
Mm-hmm.
Ask him if we could be invited to the next one.
Not me, no?
I want to go to the
Not
next
me?
one. Jade, I want to go to the next
you
gang
go,
engagement.
not me. I don't have no reason
Sound
to
like
be
fun.
engaged in no gang.
7 times. You couldn't invite Bailey for one. You want to go?
Which gang you are part of?
Ask him if they have sandwiches. I prefer cheese. These are legit questions, Jade. 360 what? How many times they went in people's vehicle?
300 and something. Let me check. I don't want to give no wrong stats here. But then I was 300.
Ask our police friend, what recourse do I have when the police stop me to go in my vehicle?
362.
Ask the police officer, what recourse do I have as a citizen, as a law-abiding citizen, to tell the police, no, you can't come in my vehicle when they randomly stop me? Like how you could just stop me and they say you're coming in my vehicle?
Oh, you know, it was a random stop.
360 something?
Yeah.
Jade, you can't, it has to be random. Like, that's the point. The whole point is, if you went in 360 something vehicles, right? Mm-hmm. It has to be that you just randomly stopping vehicles. You have to be, as my understanding is that you have to be under this. The police has. I don't know. I don't want to say like what I think is the actual legal term, but them, you should be under the suspicion of something, or the police should have some reasonable suspicion of you committing a crime.
That's what I thought too.
Jade, we just see them just literally park up and telling people jump out.
Park up in the middle of the road. Wild. Well, they're working. Operation Reassurance is reassuring.
Are you reassured now? Mm-hmm. No, seriously, I want to.
I'll just get it.
Okay, moving on. I feel reassured.
You do?
Yeah.
See, they're working.
In my position, that they kind of they're trying things, Jade.
Listen, I try. You hear those study them. If I wasn't doing nothing, that's still because of you.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah, but I just want to believe that the police should be held to a higher standard than China thing.
You know. Well, let's move on to Antigua.
Whatever happened to these town hall meetings that was supposed to happen after the shooting started to kick up? Maybe those are the gay engagements.
What town hall meeting?
Remember they were supposed to have a series of meetings with the
said that?
community. With the community.
Who had said that?
Marsha? No, I mean I don't know if maybe they happen, eh?
Maybe that's what the gang engagements be for you.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. That
See, we figure it out.
it happens.
And I think we wrong though, but
No, seriously,
we're guessing.
No, the reason why you're asking that is because I do believe those types of engagements are the ones that may prove to provide the most insight.
Okay, well maybe that's what they did. Maybe that's what they were again. That's what they were, friend.
Yeah, so maybe sit down and talk something.
Yeah. Well, a Nigerian airline acquired 70% of Liat.
Liat drama continues by. This is a never-ending saga, yeah?
31 years strong, Azem.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with having a buyout and having.
Oh, I like the name too of who bought them.
Well, we'll get to that, but I mean, okay, let's go to the article and then I could make my comments.
Nigerian airline Air Peace is expected to take a 70% stake in Liat 2020. Yeah, just put on the side of the plane. As I'm smiling. All the girls gonna come out the plane. All the girls go out, fly Liat.
This year do too much. Please to read the article. Please to read the article. Oh.
Wait, before we by the door waiting on me.
Morning, Weedy.
Yes, they're buying a 70% stake in Liat 2020 Limited, with the carrier to be run strictly on a commercial basis. This was revealed by Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown, who said that efforts are being made to establish the air operating certificate for Liat 2020. The government of Antigua and Barbuda saved the carrier from the brink of liquidation by placing it under administration. Since then, a court-appointed administrator, Cleveland Seaforth, has been piloting the operation. Mr. Brown, speaking to ABS News, said currently the carrier is operating with 2 aircraft and with fewer routes. Well, we could tell. We could definitely tell.
How many aircrafts have really got working at any given time? It's 2?
2,
I think it's 2, yeah.
How much aircrafts, Liat?
That may feel like I could start an airline.
Yeah, car 2 and all.
No, on a serious note, I feel like I could find a good 10, 15 investors and we start the airline if that's what you take. I'm not even kidding. Like, we might as well just start our own airline.
Yeah.
Liat, bye.
Liat, bye. So I have an answer to one of your previous questions.
Which ones?
What are gang engagements? It's meeting with gang members as a group.
Lovely. I'll tell you, it might literally just be meetings with the gang members. Ask me if you know the name of the gangs.
To answer your other question, which was about the recourse, it says you can make a report or see a lawyer or both.
So the police could just stop you and go in your vehicle?
So police could just... I don't know, you asked me like it's been as what they
No. I'm asking you to ask. To ask. Yeah. We don't have all the answers, Jade.
We definitely don't, but we know people who do. Or who should.
Meetings with the gangs.
As
In
a
a group.
As a group. Love it. Sometimes you got to do some group work, you know. To fix things, you have to work on it as a group. I understand, and I agree. Because
I think those conversations are necessary, yeah?
Duh.
I think those don't like, yeah, we could laugh and think, but the problem I have though is that generally the powers that be get into these sorts of engagements and they talk at one group, not with one group, or they don't listen to what the group actually has to say. Right? And so that breeds a certain level of resentment.
Yeah.
Right? Or like the possibilities that existed in terms of, hey, what could come out of these conversations are never fully realized. Hopefully that is not the case here.
Hopefully not. And to answer your other question, they must have reasonable grounds to suspect that you are carrying something illegal or committed an offense.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So if that's not stated, I could refuse them entry into my vehicle, right?
I am assuming so.
We ain't got to assume.
Oh, sure.
So if that's not stated,
Refuse entry.
because I have done that before, and they were going on like the world coming to an end. Eh?
Oh, yes, I know you can't search my vehicle.
Yeah, I was like, no, you ain't coming in here. You ain't coming in here. And they say, as a matter of fact, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm driving off now.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't detaining me, if you're not arresting me,
If you don't suspect that I've committed any crimes, criminal
yeah,
activities,
I engage in any criminal activity. Like,
you have a good day.
I busting off and I just slowly roll up my window. And they follow me. But when I was like maybe 2 minutes from my house, they turn around.
He said that they should tell you what they're doing.
So you really see us refuse to answer the question. Just say, I don't understand what you're saying. Anyway.
You got majority of your answers. So history almost repeated itself yesterday. Harry and Meghan and her mom was in a car chase.
Oh, I did hear something about a parade, a motorcade, sorry. A motorcade.
Well, so Prince Harry and Meghan alleged near catastrophic paparazzi car chase in New York. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan were involved in a chaotic car chase with paparazzi in New York on Tuesday night that could have resulted in a catastrophic outcome, the spokesperson has alleged.
Let me finish.
The successes were pursued by photographers after leaving the Women of Vision Awards at the city's Zinkfield Ballroom in a convoy that also included Dwyer Ragland, Meghan's mother. The couple were left shaken by the incident, although ultimately no one was hurt, the security detail told CNN. Police said numerous photographers made the Sussex's transport challenging, but that there were no reported collisions, injuries, or arrests. According to the couple's accounts, the altercation with the photographers was prolonged and risky. Last night, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Miss Ragland were involved in a near-catastrophic car chase at the hands of a ring of highly aggressive paparazzi, the couple's spokesperson said. This relentless pursuit lasted over 2 hours, man.
That don't even make sense. This is why you know? This ain't making no sense.
So long.
That's not making no sense, Jade. They willful. This is sensationalism. This is sensationalism, Jade.
Well,
if somebody chasing you, Jade, driving up on a place, why not just drive to the nearest police station, the nearest British embassy? Like, there's so many places you could go instead of just randomly driving around for 2 hours while 12 cars chasing you. Almost getting into accidents. Like, this don't even make no sense.
He said, well, paparazzi wanted to find out where the couple was staying while they were in New York City. He said, and their vehicles ran red lights while pedestrians were in crosswalks and drove into oncoming traffic on 34th Street in Manhattan, driving the wrong way down one-way streets. Chris Sanchez, a member of the couple's security team who spoke exclusively to CNN, said the incident was alarming. I have never experienced anything like this, he said. What we were dealing with was very chaotic. The successors were scared but were relieved when they returned to the apartment where they were staying. The public were in jeopardy at several points. It could have been fatal, he said. After what he described as an increasingly hazardous game of cat and mouse, security moved the Duke and Duchess to the 19th Police Precinct on 67th Street, sorry. From a location, a yellow taxi simply brought them around the block back to the police station. Buddha said the pair finally made their escape when the midnight shift of patrol officers turned out in their police cars to go on a patrol, effectively caused a checkpoint on the block that allowed security teams to get Harry and Meghan into traffic and away. The driver of the taxi spoke to CNN about the surreal experience he encountered. I've been driving now since 2018. This was the first time I saw this. Other celebrities never got that much attention from the paparazzi. Singh recalled that after the Duke and Duchess got into the cab, and before they could even tell him where they're going, all of a sudden the paparazzi stormed the taxi. Their flashes came from every direction. They're up against the car taking pictures. So I said, police ain't come. The police come. The police was involved.
If you believe this saying the whole thing is orchestrated and they played up this thing for attention and something.
But why they need attention?
Jade, that's why, Jade, you see what people do when we can't figure out why they need
I'm
attention?
just asking, why would they need attention?
What do you mean, why would they need
In
attention?
this way.
What do you mean, why would they need attention? The same reason all these celebrities need attention.
It actually didn't last 2 hours. Check out the report from NYC Mayor. He himself said you can't have a 2-hour chase in NYC with your kind of traffic. So maybe CNN play up the...
Jade, this don't make no sense. Like, it just don't make sense. Like, you're driving around, oh my gosh, and they get away for paparazzi for 2 hours, running red lights, almost killing pedestrians.
Again, it apparently wasn't 2 hours, but...
For however long, Jade, you know what you do? You call 911 from one of the cell phones in the vehicle. The security guards have cell phones. The taxi man have a cell phone. Like, this whole thing, like, no way, no.
But the police was there.
Police was weird, Jade.
They just said the police is who had to assist them.
Yes, Jade. Of course, the police gonna have to be who assist you. But why the police had to wait until whoever... And not only that, you know, it almost seems as though the police was kind of like a happenstance. Like, happened to run into them because they was going wherever.
No, that ain't what I said. They said that they went to the precinct.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. So, it's like, I think they were saying there was like a change or something where the police was... What? Anyway, the point is, this should not have been, for any reason, an extended anything. Like, why you running a red light? Like...
No, the main thing, they said they were running a red light. I think they said the paparazzi was running red lights.
Whoever's running red lights, Jade, this whole thing, it just don't make sense. Like, it don't make sense. There's a reason why everybody's saying, I've never seen anything like this, because it don't make sense. Like, it don't make sense, Jade. So either somebody playing up this story to sensationalize this situation, or it was a situation that was orchestrated, or something that was being milked by somebody. This ain't just happened like this. Like, there's no way.
Maybe that...
Oh my God, let us drive around while we... and...
Maybe they're trying to repeat history. You know, the people up in the castle ain't too happy.
All of these things, Jade, like, you ask about why they need this kind of attention. Like, this is the type of attention that makes your next public appearance worth $3.5 million. Like, this is the type of thing that have you now going to Good Morning America, and have you going on Oprah, and have you going on... These are the kind of things...
I think they've been there already. They've
been there already, Jade, but you don't just go. You don't just wake up and go, Jade. I know how these shows work. Something either has to be going on with you at the time, or something has to be about to happen with you when you go on these shows. That's why it's called a press run.
Well, I guess we can see if they're going to press run.
You already start. You literally already start.
Well, the bodyguard is really,
Yeah, Jade, but the press one don't mean that the particular person, you know. That's not what it means. They're in the news.
But they're always in the news.
Yeah, this is the first time we talk about them in our months.
Well, somebody's saying you need to listen to the mayor's conference on this issue.
Why? Because the mayor is saying that this is a sensationalized story, or the mayor is saying, oh my God, I can't believe this happened?
May know which one.
No, I want the person to answer.
May know what the mayor
Yeah, I want
said.
the person to say. I want to know if the mayor was like, okay, this might be a bit of an over-exaggeration, guys. It wasn't that serious. Or,
Statements from the mayor. Let me see.
or is it that the mayor was just like, it was total chaos. I can't understand what happened. How is this even possible? Oh, man. Yeah, but not all this making sense to me. I don't know where the motivations came from. I don't know why
Let me see.
or who stands to benefit or whatever, but it does not make sense.
Let me see here. Accept all. I shall tell you what he said.
Going to find an article.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to find what he said. So, Mr. Mayor, can you say anything about the response to the paparazzi chase involving Prince Harry and his wife last night? Pretty scary. Apparently, 2 NYPD officers were involved. He said, you know, it's clear that the press paparazzi is they want to get the right shots. They want to get the right story. But public safety must always be at the forefront.
Okay.
The briefing I received, 2 of our officers could have been injured. New York City is different from a small town somewhere. You shouldn't be speeding anywhere, but this is a densely populated city. And I think all of us, I don't think there's many of us who don't recall how his mom died. And it would have been horrific to lose an innocent bystander during a chase like this, and something to have happened to them as well. He said, no, I'm not to be briefed in depth later. He said, no, I'm going to be briefed in depth later on today and to give the exact time frame of for how long. I would find it hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase. That could be, I find it hard to believe, but we will find out the exact duration of the time. But if it's 10 minutes, a 10-minute chase is extremely dangerous in New York City. We have a lot of traffic, a lot of movement, and a lot of people are using our streets. Any type of high-speed chase that involves something of that nature is inappropriate. You know, police do it under limited circumstances when they're going after violent people, but to do it because you want to get the right shot can turn out to be a place where people can be harmed in a real way. So you see, there was something that happened.
No, I'm not saying nothing happened. I'm just saying it's either somebody sensationalizing what happened, over exaggerating it to play up whatever, or
I think somebody agrees with you because it says because the mayor making sense of it. He basically said it's a sensationalized story.
Yeah, it's a sensation. It has to be like it does not make sense. Like 12 tinted, heavily tinted cars chasing the car of the taxi of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle for 2 hours to the streets of New York City. Like, it don't make, like, what? Like, nothing about that there makes sense to me. Nothing. That there says sensationalization from the start. So I am just like, well, somebody gonna have to explain it to me. Yeah. And the problem is with that now, when you're going to sensationalize a story like that, then people get turned off about what the real issue might be. The issue of public safety, the issue of how do we deal with the paparazzi, limitations of the paparazzi, all these kind of things that really could have been the discussion we were having. Now it's just like, okay, I'm just trying to play up this thing here. I look in notice, man.
Yeah.
That's not what you read from it when you heard it the first time. I just thought, like, all I hear when I hear that story was, okay, I look in notice, man. that's yeah, look in noticement because that is how you earn your living. You earn a living based on
noticement,
trying to remain relevant in the public in the public sphere.
Wild. Yeah, cut to 2 hours to NY. That's wild.
2 hours anywhere, Jade, does not make sense.
That's what I take it six times.
Oh man, high speed chase all the way over the peninsula, and then it's like, hey, wait, which majors? Let me turn around.
We gotta turn around. A high speed chase, we don't want to say it to the. Where are you going?
How you know high-speed chase in St. Kitts, Jade? Look, you got certain places in St. Kitts, right? High-speed chase just becomes impossible.
Yep.
From the time you reach Challengers, high-speed chase done.
Done.
From the time you reach Old Road, high-speed chase done. You start, okay.
What Ben is mentioned, that Ben Young had to
Well,
go.
I was going all the way around going west. So you reach the high-speed chase done. Well, we see the amount of accidents that are happening them around St. Paul's. So by the time, even if you make it through Newton Ground and Sandy Point, there's no way you're making it through St. Paul's.
And what's when you white gate? You're white off.
No, my White Gate is one long straight line, man.
Yeah, but what
that would be the one place.
No, White Gate like snatch souls. You should not be driving fast through there.
I'll tell you
ever.
what. I prefer you do your high-speed chase across White Gate than going through Challengers.
Good point. Fair point. But yeah, that can work in tickets. But anyway, guys, it's time for a little breaky break. Because we have a guest. You know, like breaky break.
What just happened just now?
What do you mean?
Oh boy. But guys, yes, we're gonna take a short break because we have a conversation coming up. Very special guest. So please stay locked, stay tuned. Go wash out your mug, drop something in it, come right back.
Like and share and subscribe. Make sure your friends can get in on the action.
Of course, guys. I appreciate you guys who've been doing that. Yeah, somebody been telling me, some persons told me they got the little share link from some other sippers.
Aww.
So they know where we're at now. So big up the sippers one time. Continue doing that. But right now, I need you to stay locked, stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Sip and Chat right here at the Sugar Factory with Azem and Jade. See you after the break. Back to Sip and Chat right here at the Sugar Factory, and as we said before the break, we are joined by a very special guest. I'm looking forward to this conversation. And we have in studio with us none other than Mr. Dwyer Astaphan. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Morning, fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. What about you, Jade?
You know.
All that she's skirting this question. That's why I ask her.
Really?
All morning I ask her how she doing. She's just like, pass.
Good thing she's not going into politics.
You don't have them
You'll never get
luxuries.
the question answered.
That sounds like I should be going into politics then.
You're right, but that's what we want to bring an end to. This skirting and ducking and bobbing and weaving. We want answers.
And do you think that we're at a point where we've been getting answers?
Not sufficiently, no.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that is something that we have to continue to work at, and perhaps persons who are in our field, I mean, I say our, whether it is the media, whether it is journalists, whether it is public commentators like yourself, I think we have a big role to play in trying to get that information that the public so deserves and needs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have been involved in public life in many different ways. Would you describe your present place in life like as what I described it as? What would you refer to yourself as?
What did you describe it as?
Public commentator.
Yeah, that's okay. Citizen.
Citizen?
Somebody who's trying to be a responsible citizen.
Right,
That
right.
describes me. Trying.
Trying. Do you find it difficult to be?
Sometimes you're tempted to throw it all away and say, look, what's the point? You know, you're getting older. People don't seem to be learning. But you all have weak moments, and you have to realize that just like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he thought the task was too much for him to do, he got the call from above. Said, no, you have to do what you have to do.
Hold strain, hold strain.
That's right. And what I do, and I don't mean to sound like any sweet, cute, nice, gentle Jesus type of person, but the things that I do in terms of social and political and economic agitation have to do with making a better future for us, for our children and grandchildren, even in my own small way. And so while from time to time I might feel a sense of despair and despondency, those moments are very brief, and something brings me up again and say, no, this is what else you going to do?
What do you think that thing is? Is it, would you describe it as perhaps innate sense of duty? Do you see it as perhaps your purpose? Like what is it that keeps you at this particular time so engaged in what is happening?
It could be a few things. One, it could be innate. Two,
So you're just a troublemaker from a long time?
funnily enough, I was one of the better behaved children in school and in my family, which was like itself was like a mini China. We had at one time 12 children in the house.
Wow.
So we had a large population. And when you got sickness in school, that was like a pandemic.
Right.
Home because so many people there. So I think part of it is innate. Part of it was learning from my parents, who were extremely compassionate and humble people. Part of it is from the way we were able to make a living as a family. My father had a grocery store shop, and my mother had a cloth store at the bottom of 4th Street. And 90% of our customers were cane cutters, ordinary people, poor people, including people related to both of you, poor ordinary folks. And they were also very close to my father and mother. We were also very close to Mr. Bradshaw, who was a man, I think, widely misunderstood even now, a man of immeasurable compassion. And so I always felt that it was those forces that were primary in molding me into what I am, and I will always believe until my dying day that it is poor people who sent me to university. They came into my father's shop, and blessed is he who considereth the poor. If the poor could send me to university and the others scorn me, which was a real part of the experience of my people who came not from Europe but from the Middle East. When my grandfather, for example, first came to St. Kitts, going around the island peddling, selling goods, he could not enter the front entrance of the estate properties. He had to enter the side. When he went around St. Kitts and Nevis selling, in those days you can't do it in half an hour like now.
Right.
You have to overnight. Or you go to Nevis. The people he stayed with were ordinary folks. And his main contact in Nevis was Willie Doe's grandmother. So all of those things helped to mold me into what you have here, false and all. And when I ran for politics in Central Bastia, I never for a moment felt that I was running for a seat for me. I was running to regain Mr. Bratcher's seat.
Okay.
So This has always been part of me. I've been involved in helping out in a variety of ways.
Okay. I think that when we have persons like in society who seem to carry certain torches, right? And in your case, perhaps bringing issues to the forefront, bringing information to people who otherwise may not have, given the attention it deserves. I think that goes a long way in raising the overall, like, just clarity of what it is that's happening, right? And I think with that type of information and clarity that exists, people could make better decisions. People know exactly what to ask. In other words, sometimes some people may prefer if that level of clarity isn't what is there, because that allows you to maneuver in certain ways, right? As it stands presently, with some of the conversations that are happening in just publicly, we were speaking about here on the show the housing issue, which is one that is being discussed all around. Are there certain questions that are still left unanswered? I know there's been questions asked, there's been responses. Are there certain questions that are still left unanswered that you think the public really needs to pay attention to and try to demand the answers for?
There will always be questions, even in the most perfect of situations. With regard to the housing, the government went about it the wrong way, in my opinion. A project which is designed to house what could be 20 or 25% of the population has to be a project of such importance that it warrants public conversation, a couple of town halls and so. Explain. The technology is not new.
Right.
It is not new. And it can be very efficient. So the objectives of a government are to protect, promote, and empower its people. And protection, promotion, and empowerment start with information so that the people could be more enlightened. Once you're more enlightened, you're going to make wiser decisions.
Right.
You're going to understand things, and you're going to be better off. You superimpose on that the history of the country, which is a history of non-disclosure of information. During the enslavement and colonial periods, it wasn't your business to know government information.
Right.
It was your business to haul cane. So you have a natural, built-in, centuries-old suspicion in our people of governments. Of course, you have in that mix as well, and I don't mean to be contradicting myself, you also have a number of our people who, if they back Jade, they're going to say, Jade doing it, so it's okay.
Right.
So she's not going to be suspicious. She's not going to even be questioning. That's a problem we have to fix.
That
blind spot.
That blind loyalty and blind.
You, on the other hand, might not support Jade, and everything Jade does is suspicious and wrong and foul, which is equally unhelpful.
Right.
So we need to work our way, and the education system, the social development system, all of these things, and we can learn from Singapore, from France, from Japan, from Finland, from Rwanda, who are doing some wonderful things in their system. The core of change, the core of development is people, the attitudes, the outlook, and so forth. So the government did not use the right approach to share this information on the project with the country. In a commentary I did last week, I posed a number of questions, some of which were answered to me directly by a government official, which I incorporated in my current thing. Now, one of the things they said, for example, that the batching of the concrete will be done here, which is okay. One would expect that it would be done here.
Right.
The question is by whom?
Right.
And so if you're doing 2,400 houses and you want to get off to an early start, it might not be possible for a local group, so you and Jade and some other people, to form a consortium, get into that business, because this is going to create opportunities for people to move into business spaces.
Right.
So the Trinidad company may have had a contract with a Chinese company to bring in their batching plant. You know Manna by the Sea?
Right.
Manna by the Sea is a panel, a modular construction, and they had their own plant here.
Right.
It was up in Bird Rock area somewhere. So I envisage something like that, but not necessarily for the duration of the construction process, because it is 2,400 houses. The information I got, my thing is maximize local value added. And I'm going to tie that into something which we'll talk about later if we speak about crime, because it goes back to an idea that I proposed to Cabinet about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, to deal with antisocial behavior and gang behavior that received zero support in the Cabinet at the time. So there are questions. I asked about due diligence of the players. I was assured that the due diligence was proper. One particular name came up, and that particular name did not have the most rosy information around it.
Right.
And so I checked, and the person said, no, there's another person with that name. This is not the person.
Okay.
But again, as you ask the questions, and you're part of the media, somebody like myself, not really a media person, but if somebody like myself goes out there and fishes information, at the same time I'm giving the media an opportunity to go and back check and double check and recheck and get the media more active, because I'll tell you this and you know this, you could never have democracy unless you have an independent and robust media. It's not going to happen. So yes, I'm not 100% satisfied, but I'm not 100% satisfied with anything at all in the world. What I see from what I've been told more latterly is opportunity for the people. Some of the banks are thinking about extending their mortgage periods, lowering their monthly rates. There'll be houses at lower price points. There'll be houses at higher price points. There's even talk of developments being done here to accommodate super billionaires, $30 to $50 million mansions. So some of these guys in your business, the entertainment business, come now and and buy a lovely mansion, Beyonce, whoever, and those things can raise the profile of the country. And people like that, when they are in your midst, they do a lot of things, social assistance and so forth. So it's a lot of good things can happen from it. We just need to manage and make sure we maximize local value added and empowerment.
Right.
So where exactly would we put all of this? Because I know we are a small island.
All over the place. We built, you see CARICOM Village and CARIFESTA Village. You know how many houses up there? Well, we built for CARIFTA 130.
CARIFESTA.
CARIFESTA, sorry. 132 homes in 120 days. Right there. So, and I am hoping that they're putting these houses on marginalized lands, not your most arable and productive lands. Those are for food.
I think that's been a concern.
Yeah, it will, and I've raised that concern. It will be dispersed around the island, because you have other housing projects to come as well for people at lower and higher income levels. And they are encouraging the local contractors, which I am doing as well, and not just contractors. But they're encouraging the local contractors to get together and other people, form consortiums and make proposals. You could do it. The banks are there, the banks have money. So if you need to raise $6 million to do a project, and among you and Jade and say 30 other persons, you can raise $2 million. You have enough to go because the bank will lend you the 4. And this time out, our people can't do business together. We need to dismiss that. Our people must do business together.
I think that is one of the main reasons why we have not seen the migration of our people from one income level to the next to the next. I think the lack of collaborative efforts is one of the main
Yet we
issues.
have some sparkling examples of successful partnerships. Barker and Kelly
Right.
is one of them. You have a number of them.
Yeah.
Some of these law firms and accounting firm partnerships. TDC, people say we don't work with each other, we don't invest with each other. How many shares National Bank has, Azem?
A lot.
Okay, my lord. Most of the shareholders are us.
Yeah, regular people.
So how we say we can't go in business together and we're doing it. TDC, Hartsford, National Bank, Cable Wireless.
Right.
So where does it start? As I said, with the attitude, the formal education and the social development of our people. That is where the problem is. That is why you see people stabbing up each other and shooting up each other. And in my opinion, too much freeness. When you get everything for free, it means nothing has a value to you. So for example, I believe, and I'm rambling, bring me back to down. I believe, and I've said so, I did so in a paper when I was Minister of National Security, that you should have a junior cadet corps in the school, all the schools, not to militarize our children, but to discipline them. Marching together, working together, court. You should have chess in the schools, bridge, social skills development programs, theater, music. You're a musician. I was a kind of a musician. I played the saxophone, and I played it okay. But playing it by myself brought me nowhere near the joy than being able to play it with a fella on a guitar, somebody on a keyboard, because now we are harmonizing.